Hey, what's going on, guys? So it's time for another anime figure haul, and in this video I have 5 Nendos sitting over here for you guys, plus I have 2 scale figures, and I actually have more scale figures, but unfortunately doing B-roll of 5 Nendos is super time consuming. I mean, you got to unbox, put them together, you got to get them different positions so you have different B-roll, and it's just a whole thing. So I only do 2 scale figures for this video, and then I'll save the other ones for a future video. But super excited for all of these, so let's go ahead and jump into it. But before talking about these figures, let me tell you about the sponsors for today, Tokyo Tree and Sakura. Sakura is a monthly authentic Japanese snack subscription box that supports local Japanese snack makers. Each box comes with 20 traditional, authentic, and artisan Japanese snacks, including Japanese teas and a special Japanese household item. Every month's box has a theme, and for February, you know it's gotta be Valentine's. Valentine's in Japan is not just about sweets. Families come together, friends exchange tokens, and couples share quiet moments to express their love and appreciation in this thoughtful season. This box blends traditional and contemporary delights where you can indulge in flavors such as the peach dorayaki, strawberry chocolate crunch, the chocolate Danish, and many others. Some of my favorites were the strawberry chocolate crunch, which are freeze-dried strawberries and white chocolate in like a rice cracker texture. I love chocolate strawberry everything, with these being no exception. And then there was a strawberry daifuku. Daifuku is a filled mochi and another favorite Japanese snack of mine. These are filled with a strawberry infused bean paste, and I'm so glad I got a whole bag of them. The Komachi Azuki pie was another good one, combining two things I really love, a flaky puff pastry and a red bean paste. And finally, of course, I have a peach dorayaki here. Dorayaki are two Japanese pancakes wrapped around a red bean filling. I can usually get a dorayaki at my local Asian market, but it's usually just the regular red bean filling. But these actually have little pieces of peaches kneaded into the paste, and now I need to find out what other flavors I can actually get. And of course, you had that cocoa sencha tea, and this is kind of like drinking hot chocolate in tea form. That cocoa husk is just really strong but really delicious. You can learn more about the different snacks you received in the box, as well as the allergen information with the included booklet, which also contains more information about the Japanese culture. This month's tableware item is a Kiko plate, or a fire plate crafted from the Gifu prefecture, and here I have the Kiko plate. Tokyo Treat is a monthly pop Japanese snack subscription box where you'll find up to 20 exclusive limited edition and seasonal flavored Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan for a limited time. Whereas Sakura focuses more on traditional flavors, Tokyo's Treat Specialties is the latest and coolest snacks in Japan. In each box, you'll score a Japanese drink, limited edition Kit Kat party pack, and full-size popular Japanese chips, candy, and more with seasonal flavors. Just like Sakura, these have a monthly theme, and this month's theme is, you guessed it, Valentine's. The Be My Valentine box is packed with favorites of Tokyo Treats to celebrate Valentine's Day and show their appreciation to all of you. You'll find strawberry shortcake Kit Kats, Pokemon candy hearts, Pirikara, spicy ramen, and many more. Some of my favorite treats from these boxes were definitely the cutie pie donuts. Whenever these boxes put in donut snacks, I am so excited because they're usually bangers, and these were no exception. These are just some cake donuts with like a sugar coating on the outside. Very simple, but oh my god, were they delicious. I just sat there and ate the entire pack. I couldn't even stop. And then, of course, I had to try the strawberry shortcake Kit Kat. Strawberry shortcake is one of my favorite desserts. And again, I love white chocolate and strawberries together. It's just so good. And that Kit Kat crunch that you always get, it was just absolutely perfect. And of course, they do have some salty and savory snacks as well. I tried the Happy Turn rice crackers, and these are just rice crackers with like a umami powder on the outside, and it was just really good. And then I tried the baked chocolates. These are like little mini brownies. They have a nice little crunch on the outside, but the inside has a softer moisture texture. If you're a chocolate fan, you'll definitely enjoy these. And to wash it all down, we do have this Sweetheart fruit juice, which according to the booklet, it does have apple, oranges, and peaches in it, and it is quite refreshing. And just like Sakura, you will find a booklet describing each of the snacks, including their allergen information, and there's also a wealth of information about Japanese culture. You can grab these boxes for you or your loved ones for Valentine's Day using the link in the description and using code WILL for $5 off your first box. Thanks to Sakura and Tokyo Treats for sponsoring this video. Now, this first Nendo is definitely one I should have included in my last video, my Marin Kadokawa figure video, but I'm a terrible YouTuber and really bad at planning. But it's going to be Shizuku from My Dress Up Darling. And when I first got this figure, I thought it was actually Marin in the Shizuku cosplay. But it's not. It's actually Shizuku from Marin Kadokawa's favorite game, Slippery Girls, and not Marin herself. So, pleasant surprise. I was looking for her on my figure collection under Marin Kadokawa, and I could not find this Nendo. So she does have her own entry as Shizuku. But all good, because at the end of the day, I really did just like the Nendo. And, I'm a huge Marin stan anyway, so I kind of had to get it. But yeah, she came out pretty well. I mean, her outfit looks pretty well done. Love the fact that we have, the actual chain coming down from her neck, and she's kind of holding it in one of her hands. And the faceplates are all pretty solid. Even like the default kind of staring, blank faceplate, I think goes pretty well with the actual character, or I thought it was Marin, but it's not, but still goes good with the Shizuku character. And then we have the eyes closed one, which is one I really do like, especially with pretty much all the poses that she comes with. The other one, which Good Smile Company calls the entrance face, was definitely one that caught my eye and kind of the reasons why I got it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use that on display or not. I'm still trying to figure out if it's going to be that face or the closed eyes one, as to which one I'd go with. And her poses are all pretty solid. I mean, I kind of like the simple one where she's just kind of crossing her arms, and we do get another body part so that she is just kind of sitting down as well. So we'll see. Overall, I think it's a pretty solid Nendo. It wasn't really too expensive, I think. So I think it was definitely worth the money. Now this next Nendo is one that came out quite a while ago, 2018 in fact, so it's been out for almost 6 years now. It's going to be Overwatch's D.Va, and I used to be a big Overwatch player. I still kind of play a little bit here and there, and pretty much tank and healer were the two classes I played the most, and D.Va was definitely my favorite tank to play whenever the meta actually allowed me to play her. But definitely one of my favorite tanks, one of my favorite characters in the game, so I definitely had to pick her up. And I got an offer of my figure collection for like 50 bucks, which I thought was a pretty good deal. She's in really, really good condition, and I'm glad I did, because this is probably one of the best Nendos I've ever picked up. Now, I'm sure most of you know, when it comes to Nendos, in order to get that perfect pose, you had to change out some arms and legs. Hopefully the Nendo comes with the arms and legs that you need to actually get to those poses. But with D.Va here, all of her joints are articulated, so you can get her into some crazy positions without having to change anything, and I absolutely love that. Even her midsection twist as well. So the only thing that you really need to do is change out her hands and her faceplate, and that's it. And she comes with some really great faceplates. All of them are really well done. A lot of different hands you can change out as well. She does come with a few different accessories, so she comes with a lot of stuff. Now, for me personally, I'm probably gonna go with kind of a classic pose of her, giving a selfie, giving a peace sign as the D.Va mech behind her explodes, one of her highlight videos. So that's probably what I'm going to end up going with. But again, there's just so much you can do with this. And my only gripe with it is that the actual D.Va mech is a little small, but I can understand that. I mean, if you get something big, you're gonna be paying a ton for this figure, so it's not really realistic. But they do have a pop-up array of her mech, and I may end up picking that up to pair with this as well. So we'll definitely see. All right, so moving on to our next Nendo, it's gonna be none other than Mr. Ishigami Yu from Kaguya-sama Love is War. And when I showed my wife the announcement for this Nendo, she told me to pre-order immediately, because she's a huge Kaguya-sama Love is War fan, and so am I. And Mr. Ishigami is probably one of our favorite characters from the series, so it's definitely a no-brainer, so I can have him added to my Kaguya Love is War figure collection. And glad I did, because he came out pretty well. I mean, just looking at the faceplates, all three of the faceplates look good on him. Even like the default Nendo faceplate of them just, kind of staring off, fits him so well, because that is definitely his default look to begin with. So if you were to go with that default faceplate, I couldn't blame you. I just could not blame you. And then his other two faceplates, pretty iconic as well. Him crying, we definitely see that a few times in the anime. And the faceplate that I have on right now, which is the one I'm probably going to end up going with, of him just being kind of freaking out and excited, probably taunting someone. I cannot remember exactly where he has this reaction in the series at, but I need to go back and rewatch it, because I definitely remember it. I just can't remember the actual context of it. But that's probably the actual faceplate I go with, including the pose where he's pointing. So I'll do that for sure. But he does come with some other accessories as well. He has a manga that he's reading. He has his headphones that you put around his neck, and he does have his gaming console as well. So he comes with a decent amount of stuff and some pretty good poses that definitely fit the character. So really great little Nendo. Now moving on to my last two Nendos I have from Isekai Ojisan himself, and then of course Tsundere Elf to pair with him. And Isekai Ojisan was probably one of my top 10 anime from 2022 or 2023 when it actually ended. And when I saw these go for pre-order, I absolutely knew I had to pick them up because I really did like the design of Ojisan in general. So when I saw him in Nendo form, kind of a no-brainer for me. I mean, he has some really good faces. His default faceplate looks fine. He has one where he's kind of smiling a little bit or a little smirk. And then we have this one where he has this huge ass grin on his face. And I knew when I saw that, I had to get this Nendo. It just looks so good. And then of course we have different glasses that you can put on him. So you have some opaque glasses and you also have some transparent ones, which are pretty easy to change out. They're just kind of attached to his hair on the front part of the actual Nendo. So really easy to change that out. In terms of like his accessories, they're pretty good as well. We have a couple of different magic swords. We have his kind of memory window that he can put up. And then we do have a hand with the ring that he does give to the Tsundere Elf. And then, yeah, pretty good. I would say pretty good accessories. His poses are fine, really nothing too crazy, but he doesn't really have like a lot of crazy poses in the anime. I can only think of one, but there's no way a Nendo is going to be able to get into that type of position. So overall, pretty good. The only negative I have about this is they have these fragile ass scarf around his neck, and when I was originally trying to like take the plastic off of him, I actually broke one tip of this actual scarf because it's just so hard to like take his head off gently and whatnot. And I hate to put it together Nendo, so this is really frustrating. So I did have to like super glue that back on, but really no biggie whatsoever. And then of course moving to Miss Elf here, she also has some really great face plates, being like a super tsundere. I mean, they just nailed it. They just nailed it. So her default faceplate looks really well done. And then of course we have the fluster faceplate, which is one I really wanted to go with here. And you know, the pose looks great. You know, it's kind of reaching out to Oji-san after being embarrassed by him. And then we do have another one where she kind of looks kind of like, why are you giving me this necklace kind of look? Why are you giving this to me? Just kind of bewildered look. I really do like that one as well. I thought about going with that, but decided to pass on it. And the accessories that come with her are pretty well done. You have a couple of swords that you can attach to her. Again, you do have that necklace that she's holding up. You do have her shoulder armor pieces that you can attach to her arms as well. So really just a lot of great accessories. So yeah, this was definitely a no-brainer for me. I think they're just super adorable, and then we kind of pair them up. They just look really well done. All right, so moving on to our scale figures and continuing with that Isekai Oji-san theme, we have another elf figure. So as you guys can see, I love me some Tsundere Elf, but this is a Kadokawa 1/7 scale that came out at the end of October 2023. And I originally had this on pre-order with Good Smile Company, the US store, and I thought they were charging quite a bit. I think it was gonna be like $200 or $210 with shipping and tax. I just thought that was too much for, you know, this figure in particular. So I decided to gamble, canceled it, and see if I could pick her up on the aftermarket, which is definitely a gamble because you never know how that's gonna go. You might not be able to find her, or just, you know, price might go up. You never know. But I was able to get her off Yahoo Japan auction for like 18,000 or 18,500 yen, and I'm glad I did because Kadokawa did a pretty good job with this actual figure. I mean, the technical aspects of it look terrific. The overall sculpt, the detailing in her, you know, yellow dress here, the kind of weathering in her actual armor back here looks really well done. We have some engravings on her shoulder pads and on the black part of her kind of shirt here up front on her chest. Some little detailing in her shoes as well. Paint job looks great. Not a lot of shading in there, but really not a major complaint. And of course, it does look just like Tsundere Elf. So definitely gotta nail the face, but that looks really well done as well. And she actually comes with two different face plates. So she has kind of like that serious, you know, kind of like she's about to fight faceplate, but she also has another faceplate where she is just completely blushing. And with that faceplate, you also get a different hand that kind of, you know, adds to the kind of blushing expression that she's giving. So it's a very small change with just changing her hand, but it does do a lot. But I think for this figure, I'm probably just going to end up sticking with the more serious face, because I did get the Nendo, and that one does have the blushing side of her, you know, tsundere personality. So I'll stick with the blushing with the Nendo, more serious face with the actual scale figure here. And yeah, really nothing to complain about. The base itself is pretty plain and, you know, not very remarkable. Another reason why I didn't think it was worth like that price they were charging at retail. The sword itself, it does have like this purple plastic to kind of insinuate it's a energy blade that you can take on and off, and you just have to make sure you get it right in order for the actual purple part to stay up correctly. But because it kind of does hang off the blade if you don't have it correctly, but small complaint, not gonna really dock any points for that. But yeah, definitely a great little figure, just not worth that 24,000 yen that they were charging at retail. Moving on to the last figure of this video, it's going to be Miss Lena from 86, aka Bloody Regina. And 86, another series I really enjoyed. In fact, I picked up the light novel so that I could continue reading from where the anime left off at. But this is a Kadokawa 1/7 scale, just like our elf. And man, this figure has been so hard to find. So she originally came out in January of 2023, and I also had this one on pre-order as well, but I have not been as lucky to find her after canceling that pre-order. I mean, I've been looking on Yellow Japan Auction, Mercari, My Figure Collection, and I just cannot even find her for sale for most of the time of this entire year since she's been released. It's just not that common to see her for sale, and when you do see her for sale, she's going for like a crazy price, like 250 plus easy. So I was able to get this one off of My Figure Collection for like $175 shipped, and I was so happy when I finally got her, because at first, you know what, to be honest, I really didn't like the look of this figure, and that's kind of why I think I canceled her at first, because this side of Regina, if you've seen the, you know, source material, she's a very serious character. So seeing her like this is not really in her character, but, you know, it's kind of a playful, you know, interpretation of her. She does look really good though. I will say Kadokawa did a really good job with the actual figure. I mean, it's Kadokawa quality, you know, I just talked about Elf, but, you know, kind of same thing applies here. Really good paint, really good sculpt job of her actual uniform that she has on here. Her hair looks absolutely terrific. I mean, look at that hair and all of those strands. And there was one little issue with this figure, and I think the seller said it came like that out of the box, and it does have like one little black blemish on like this translucent hair, and it took me a while to even see it at first. I'm like looking for it right now, I can barely even see it. So really not that big of a deal. But yeah, I mean, she looks adorable. I love her, you know, just the way she looks. She does have the option to have her with the hat or without the hat. So if you want to, you know, take the hat off, you can you know, kind of attach her two hair pieces if you want to go with that. But I definitely like her with the actual hat. I mean, the salute does look pretty cool. I do like the salute, but the hat does kind of add to the overall figure itself. So she looks terrific. Base, really nothing too special, just white, says 86 on Lena. So not gonna complain about that, because man, yes, I'm just happy I have her in my collection and I didn't have to pay an arm and a leg for her. So that's it for this video. Again, I do have some more scale figures that I need to unbox for you guys, so you will be seeing that soon. But until then, if you want to check out some of my other unboxings, definitely check out some of the videos up on the screen right now. Be sure to hit that like button, easy way to support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe for more videos, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.